And three, two, one.
Welcome to episode 150 of the Narcissistic Music Disorder.
How you doing, buddy?
Great. How are you doing today?
I am doing swimmingly. Thank you for asking. All is
Sun
well.
is out.
Dude, the sun is out so much that I was upstairs earlier and I was going to shut the kitchen lights off. I'm like, God, the kitchen lights are on. It wasn't the kitchen lights. It was sun
Yeah.
coming in the window. So that was great, I guess. Um, what are you listening to, Scott? Are you on anything hot right now?
The new Texas Headhunters, I'm sure I'm wearing.
Okay.
It's Ian Moore,
Oh yeah, yep.
Really?
Jesse Dayton, and one other guy. I can't recall his name because I wasn't familiar with him, but I don't know the bass player and the drummer are on
Drummer.
that record, but it's like bluesy rock. It's really, really cool with those three playing guitar.
And you shared that with me too, because I told you I'd heard of Jesse Dayton.
Yeah, he does a record with I have like he does a lot of country stuff too. Like I have one he does with Brennan Lee, who's a female guitar player from Texas who's just can shred. He does a record with her, like all duets.
He's got a new album with Samantha Fish too.
Yeah, he's got all kinds. He's great.
So I know his name from somewhere, and it's not as a solo artist. I feel like he played guitar for someone. Like
Okay,
Bill, he maybe was on the road with Billy Joe Shaver for a hot
could
second
be
or someone like that, some
very
Texas act.
possible.
So yeah. So and the only thing I can add right now that I'm so late to the party on, and I think you've made fun of me already, so you won't have to do it again. But that Sturgill Simpson.
Still rocking it.
Dude, I didn't get into him. I was very prejudiced against him because there were, and I've said this before, this is just what a shallow, worthless person I can be. But a lot of people whose music tastes I didn't respect were talking about him, right? Sturgill Simpson, and I'm like, I didn't even give him a chance. That's how petty I can be.
I do that.
Well,
I've done
it was
that.
like, much like anything else, I was going, well, if that person likes it, I know my taste is so far removed from that person that
Yeah.
how could it be? But man, I got hit hard. That Meta Modern Sounds and Country Music album.
Yes.
Ooh, that's some psychedelic good stuff there, man.
Yep.
Really good stuff. So we have a guest today, right?
We do. Today we have from the Hustle podcast, which is one of my
Amazing.
favorites. Like I've told him, Jon Lamoreaux from Denver. You in Denver, John?
That's right. Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, thanks for
It's
being
fun.
here.
Of course. I love talking about this kind of stuff. Can't get
His
enough.
his show, John. I know you listened to the Roscoe episode.
I can't even talk about that because I love Eric Amble so much.
Really?
Oh my God. I just posted on Facebook today.
Huh.
Eric Amble has as a producer. I'm taking
Yeah.
out the guitar playing. Which is
Sure.
amazing.
Sure.
His guitar playing is amazing. I'm taking out the black hearts, all of it. As a producer, there was a segment of my life where every album I bought for a year, if I flipped it
Really?
over, he had produced it.
Huh.
He had produced it. I like this genre of music, I guess.
Sure.
What do we call it, Scott? Is it alt country now,
Folk
Americana?
country Americana, yeah.
Stuff like that.
I'm gonna throw out this is big praise, but in that genre, and I know Eric's produced all sorts of music, but in that genre, he's the George Martin of
Yeah.
Americana.
Yeah, I can see that.
Eric Amble's production on these records is, well, it's a measuring stick for all that. So that episode was so good, and
Oh, good.
he's so insightful and cool, and has so much history. He does a great interview with Otis Gibbs. Have you guys seen that?
Mm-mm.
Otis Gibbs has
Got a great YouTube
oh
channel.
my gosh, dude.
Really?
Oh, it's so good. You got to watch him. He's so
Okay.
good. And I haven't figured out, Scott, do you know how Otis Gibbs is? He's a player. He's a musician.
Right.
He's in that circle.
He's in that circle with the East Nashville guys.
Well, and because he moved to East Nashville.
Yeah.
I think he's
friends with Todd Snyder. And
Yes.
He was friends with my
That makes sense.
pal, Peter Cooper, that passed. And
yeah, they're
all
all
those
in
cats.
that area.
Tom Bukovic, all those
Yes.
guys.
And so Bukovic, anytime you can see Tom Bukovic talk on the internet, there's a dude who has some. I mean, he's played
Mm.
with Joe Walsh, and he's played with Hart, and he's been on everybody's record. He's a studio cat.
He's the
But yeah,
Quincy Jones of like rock and roll, man.
yeah,
Wow.
amen, amen. Okay, so we've nerded out about. See, I told you, John. We're easily 5 minutes in. We haven't talked about anything that we planned on. So,
But um I mean, great episodes. Dan from the Crash Test Dummies, Stan Lynch
Oh yeah.
on your
Yeah.
show.
Stan Lynch, did you want me to go again? Do I need to go on? Do I have to rant about Stan Lynch?
Did you listen to that one yet?
I got a little piece of it. I was in the truck on the way somewhere. I love Stan Lynch.
Yeah.
Again, Steve Ferrone, great drummer, great drummer. I'm a Heartbreakers through and through Tom Petty guy. Everybody knows that. The Heartbreakers were never, ever, ever, ever. Tom Petty's music was never the same without Stan Lynch. And I
agree.
loved all of it. I love, like,
Sure.
I'm trying to think of what, and maybe this was covered in your show too, but like, I feel like it was something around Wildflowers where they kind of lost Stan, right?
Yeah, that was it. And he was kind of iffy about, or wouldn't, be fully clear about why he was let go. And I just kind of played along,
Well,
but
right.
it's a shame.
Oh,
I wondered if he's got kind of a big personality, sort of like a Stuart Copeland is to Sting.
yes.
And I wonder if he just decided, I don't feel like I want to be under anyone's thumb anymore. And Tom was like, this is my ship. And if you don't want to, play along, then don't. And Stan doesn't strike me as being very subservient. And maybe that's what Tom wanted and
I
or
think
needed.
that. So here's what and of course, this is all the interview hearsay and everything, but I did hear this from like a Petty interview that he had presented, and I don't know, dude, if it was something off Wildflowers or Mary Jane, whatever it was, presented it, and Stan, well, the band, in essence, a lot of the guys in the Heartbreakers were like, I'm not feeling this. It might have been Wildflowers. Although that doesn't seem right either. I can't remember. But anyhow, so Stan is like, kind of not refuses to play on it, but isn't excited. And Tom says, well, that's okay. I'll just call Ringo. I mean, shit, can you imagine? And I liken it, to the Beatle thing where they're in the recording studio and Harrison during the Let It Be sessions is bitching about something and he's gonna split. And fucking Lennon goes, well, just call Eric. They're gonna call Clapton, But so when Stan left the Heartbreakers, I know I mean, Stan played on records too, like Ben Mott Tench, Stan Lynch.
Sure.
Those guys were popping up all over. Mike Campbell was writing. I mean, he wrote Boys of Summer and all that. But my son plays drums. He's 17. I talk about Stan Lynch all the time because go listen to those Heartbreaker songs. Listen to Breakdown. The drums, it's not, it's not Rush, right?
Yeah.
You and I feel like I could sit down at the drums and play Breakdown. Guess what I can't do? Can't play Breakdown like Stan Lynch.
No.
So yeah.
No.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done with my ranting about. God, I love Stan Lynch though. I do, you guys.
He's great.
Oh, he's the best. Now that era of the Heartbreakers, both with Ron Blair early on, and then of course when Howie Epstein got in, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
God. Okay. Shut up, Scott. Let's move on. Gosh,
all right, yeah.
Come on, get on topic for once.
So
what are we doing today, Scott?
I wanted to hear, from listening to the show, I have a great idea of John's favorite albums and favorite bands. I'm guessing your favorite band, it's between two, I think. I think it'd be Tears for Fears or Crowded House.
That's very perceptive.
Ooh.
I would say they are like right neck and neck. I recently, about a year or two ago, came up with my top 10 favorite artists.
Oh.
And I had Bowie at number 1.
Oh.
I had Hall & Oates at number 2.
Beautiful.
And I think I had Crowded House at number 3 and Tears for Fears at number 4.
Wow. Wow. Bowie at the top.
Yeah. Bowie's my guy.
Yeah.
So
I've got a killer Bowie poster.
I just wanted to hear more of what he was into, so I thought I'd ask him to be on for pick 5.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm excited to hear this, especially with that list of artists right there. I know there's going to be something I can learn here today. So,
I hope I don't disappoint you guys because I got to be honest. Here's the deal. I get asked to do these kinds of things periodically, and I try to not repeat myself. And for you guys, I went in some different directions
all
and
right,
picked things that
Nice.
other people might be surprised that I
killer.
like as much as I do.
So we can call this a very revealing episode.
This is a
That'll be our
this is a
clickbait.
yes, yes,
I don't know what
very
clickbait
revealing.
is, but I
I don't
feel like
know either, but I don't know how I would attract clickbait, but we'll
I
see it.
if we figure it out, we'll let you know because
Good.
we'll be doing it. I mean,
Yes.
we are selling out. If you're buying, we're selling out. So we'll come up with something for sure.
That's good.
So what we'll do, I think, is let's have our guest start. Let's have Jon start us off. He'll start out with his rock pick, and then we'll move on to you, Scott, and I'll bring up the rear. Sound good?
All right.
All right.
All
So
right.
what was your rock album, Jon?
I went full rock on this one. I again am picking albums I rarely talk about, things that I really like but might surprise other people. For my rock album, I'm going to go with Wasps, The Headless Children.
Dude,
Wow.
come on. You're in the right place, Jon.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I don't pretend to be like a Wasp completist where I know like every album and could rank them from best to
Right.
worst.
Sure.
But I remember when that album came out because there was a video for The Real Me that used to get played
Yes.
on MTV. And at the time, I didn't know that was a Who song because I was like 15, 16 years old. I just thought it was a really melodic Wasp
Yep.
song, which shocked me because that was not what I was imagining coming from that band. And
Right.
so eventually I get my hands on the tape, probably. And I come to find out the rest of the album is surprisingly melodic for a
Mhm.
band like that. And there's hooks. I really like the song Forever Free.
Yep.
And there's a
Yeah.
really good stuff on there. And so I listened to it again the other day to get ready to talk to you. And I thought, man, this thing holds up. So I'm going with The Headless Children by Wasp.
Love it. Well,
Nice.
you are in friendly area here when it comes to that because what's your take? Are you a Wasp guy, Scott? You like Wasp?
Oh yeah.
So that Headless Children record, The Real Me, first of all, I'm kind of with you too. I was a kid. A lot of I guess I owe Wasp a couple things because I think I knew The Real Me was a Who song, but I remember when they had on, I think it was their live album, they had a cover of I Don't Need No Doctor.
You know, Doctor.
By Humble Pie, and that
Yeah.
was really killer too.
Live in the Raw. Yep.
The thing I remember about that Real Me and the Headless Children era of Wasp is they had brought in a bass player. They brought in a guy named Johnny Rod to play bass, who was from King Cobra and I forget where else he played, but he came in, and that Real Me is such a bass song, right? All those
Yes, it
cool
is.
ass bass licks.
Kicks off with it. Yeah.
It's so cool. Boom, doo, 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 doo. The cracks between the pavement. Boom, doo, doo, doo. All that cool shit. Yeah. What a great pick, Jon. Wow. Headless Children by Wasp. You are in the right place. All right,
Good.
Scott. What do you got?
The Lonesome Jubilee by John Mellencamp.
That's my jam. That's my
Great
jam.
album.
His best record.
Agreed.
Yes.
My wife hates it, and she loves Mellencamp so much
Really?
that she cried
Why?
at his concert.
What?
She cried
Yeah, like
during Mellencamp's
Beatlemania
show.
cried.
She cried enough that I've told the story. And Jon, I'll tell you, we went to see Mellencamp. He came out on stage. My wife starts full on Beatle crying. She's
Oh my
crying.
gosh.
A dude next to us has, binoculars because we're on the hill at an outdoor venue, kind of away.
Uh-huh.
He's got these binoculars. It looks like he could see, through space. He looks at my wife, who is full on Beatlemania, 1964 Beatle crying. He takes them off and hangs them on her neck and goes, "You use these."
No.
And we watch Mellencamp. My wife doesn't like the Lonesome Jubilee.
Man.
How can that be?
She likes
too much
Paper and
accordion or
Fire.
something? Yeah.
Maybe, maybe. I love it. It's so rootsy. It's got all my favorite. I mean, Check It Out is on there. Paper and Fire is on there.
Cherry Bomb.
Cherry Bomb's a
Yes.
great song too.
My favorite
That
song
is.
on there, yeah.
And there's some weird tracks on there that are really cool, like
Hot dogs and hamburgers.
what's the one? Dear Mr. President? Is that what it's called? Dear Mr. President?
I thought that was on Scarecrow. Maybe I'm wrong.
You might be right.
There's We Are the People.
We Are the People. That's the one.
What's the one
I-
that's Hey,
Hard
Mr.
Times for an Honest Man is a great song.
Maybe that's the song. I used to be a dancer, got a little bit too old, became a
Yeah, I
secretary.
think that's the one.
It is. It's
Yeah.
oh no, Down and Out in Paradise. Is that on there, Scott? Does that
Yeah,
down?
second track.
That's a
There you
killer
go.
tune. There's a line
Yeah.
in there. Um, Dear Mr. President, I'm just a young kid. I'm in the 4th grade at Riley Elementary. I don't know. I see, I see my mom and dad, they've been acting funny, and I wonder if it's got something to do with me. And I
Man.
mean, that
Amazing.
section, my daddy's always drunk, and my mom's a babysitter, and I don't like the Russians because I hear they hate me.
I love
I
that
mean,
line.
shit,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, John Mellencamp.
Man.
Plus, that's where Lisa, the fiddle player,
Yeah.
is really prominent on that. I'm like, check
Yeah.
it out. That's my favorite era. My
Yeah.
favorite live
I
era
love
of
that album
Mellencamp.
too. It's great. Weird.
Favorite live era with David Grissom on guitar, who big
Mhm.
Texas guy. Yeah, killer. Wow, you guys are shit. I don't know if I'm up to this. Wasp and Mellencamp. Well, my pick for my rock album came out in 1967. It is a greatest hit, Scott. Don't get mad at me.
Nope.
Okay, thanks. It's Chuck Berry's Golden Hits.
Oh.
The reason I picked it is in 67, that's later, so he had time to mass greatest hits, right? Golden hits, as they call them here. But this has Sweet Little 16, Memphis, School Days, Maybelline, Johnny Be Good. The reason I recommend it is it's the blueprint. It's if you love the Rolling Stones, if you love Keith Richards, you love Chuck Berry. If you love the Beatles, you love Chuck Berry. If you love, all
Yeah.
these blueprint type stuff. The Beatles, I've said before, hipped me to Chuck Berry because I was a Beatle fan as a kid. And by kid, I mean by 1st grade, I'm a full-on Beatle fanatic. And because I grew up in the late 70s, and the Beatles had a cartoon. There's a Beatle cartoon that was on. The Monkees were on. I could already figure out the Monkees were pretending to be the Beatles. But yeah, Chuck Berry is the blueprint for all of it for me. So yeah, great everything. All
It
right.
is. I will admit I don't go back to like old timey rock and roll very often. It doesn't hit me emotionally.
Mhm.
I intellectually agree with everything you just said wholeheartedly, but it doesn't. I get more pleasure out of something that's more emotional,
Mhm.
more. I don't know.
Connected, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It like they're unbeatable songs, but I don't put them on for pleasure very often. The
And
old stuff.
I do, and I think why is because it, nowadays, even if I get excited about something brand new, I have concerns about how that was created. I know that sounds stupid, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can listen to Chuck Berry, I can listen to um Ray Charles and Fats Domino and all that kind of prototypical stuff, but I know for a fact those are human beings. And
Yeah.
I know it
Good
wasn't,
point.
I knew it wasn't Chuck Berry going, "Hey man, let's we'll fly this part in." And they just sat in a room and played. And
Yeah.
I use that terminology, sat in a room or in the room or whatever, because I just imagine what it was like to, okay, you saunter out on Saturday night, you pull the door back in some shitty juke joint, and Chuck Berry is
Good
playing,
point.
Maybelline,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
1960 something, so.
Yeah. Good point.
All right, what's your pop pick?
Okay. So this is kind of my comfort food of a pop pick. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, but I guess you might call it a guilty pleasure, although I don't agree with or believe in guilty pleasures. I'm a big fan of that sort of like sophistopop period that took place in the 80s out of the UK. And then one of those bands was called Curiosity Killed the Cat. And they
Huh.
had a stateside hit that was called Misfit. It wasn't, which you would probably know if you heard it. And their debut album, which unfortunately is not streaming, but you can find it in a used shop somewhere, it's called Keep Your Distance. And I love this album because I love like Swing Out Sister
Oh
and
yeah.
Simply Red and Breathe and those kinds of bands that were really big in that sophistopop area there for a little while. And this album is just I put it on and I feel better. It's like going home.
Yeah.
And I don't know
Nice.
why I do, but I do. I love it.
and I'm not sure because I haven't heard this, and I just wrote down curiosity killed the cat, keep your distance. But my guess is, and I'm using this descriptor again without ever hearing it, but probably lush. I mean, kind of that lush production, and
Very much so.
yeah,
Yeah, it was sort of merging like R&B with some jazz, a lot of jazz elements, a lot of
cool.
saxophone and stuff like that. And it worked for me. I don't know why. It just did.
Well, didn't what was the Simply Red hit? Holding
Holding
back
back
the
the
years.
years. Yeah.
There you go. There's a
Yeah.
beautiful pop song, right?
Yeah,
And
it really is.
really well constructed and
It
airy and
is.
beautiful. Yeah,
I sort of
nice.
view it as like when the Jam ended and Paul Weller started the Style Council. I feel like it sparked a bunch of these other bands to kind of do something similar. So if you think
Mhm.
about the kind of music that Weller was making with the Style Council, that begat all of these like
Right.
sophisticated bands that came out shortly after that, and around '87. And I love this album. I don't know why.
Beautiful. Yeah, and I have to say I have a soft spot for Style Council because I know one
Uh
song,
huh.
but it was on one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, Vision Quest, the movie
Oh
Vision
yeah,
Quest,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
and it was we're gonna shout to the top,
Yes,
shout,
yes,
killer, man. Great
yes.
song.
That's it.
Yeah. What's your pop pick, Scott?
I went with a power pop record,
Oh,
Sleepwalker by the Great Affairs.
I
dude,
don't know this one.
you you will have to. You're gonna love the Great Affairs, I promise. Scott and I are you agree, Scott? We've gotten
Fanatics.
creepy,
Are
Yeah,
they
creepily, and
new? I don't know anything about them. Never heard of them.
been
they
around a
are
while.
Cheap Trick,
Yeah,
Big Star,
Yeah.
all the good
all that
stuff.
stuff mixed together. Survivor,
Plus, they just flat out the songs are really good. The
the
songwriting is
hooks, the
super good.
songs. It's
Scott and
on.
I are. It's getting disturbing. I think we
Okay,
freaked the band out. I
We've
don't.
had all four members on, the lead singer
really?
twice.
Yeah, we freaked them out. They gotta be. I'm sure there's paperwork in place. I know there's paperwork in place.
Okay.
The other thing about the Great Affairs that's really cool is they just came off how many shows? Two or three, Scott? They played with
Two with
Styx.
Sticks.
Dude, did you see the post I shared
They they
of the
got a huge
holy shit?
response.
Dude, they finished their set. There's people. I mean, I've seen opening bands. I've seen great opening bands, really good opening bands. Always the response is polite at times, but you're ready to see Styx or the people
Yeah,
you came for or whatever. The response to the Great Affairs was, I mean,
yeah. It was
amazing.
not a as you would call it, jaded applause. It was
No, no, there were
Oh,
no golf
wow.
claps. There were no golf
no.
Okay.
claps. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
There were people
I just
standing up.
yes, and
wow.
pressed up, kind of front of the stage. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're the
Okay. I just added it to my
oh,
listen to.
dude.
Oh,
I would say
Sleepwalker is their brand new one.
you can't
Um,
go wrong with
the
anything.
one before that is Everybody Moves, Nobody Gets Hurt.
That's my
Okay.
10 and 2 is my favorite. That's from 2018. But
yeah,
man,
yeah.
they
I feel like
Good.
power pop at its finest.
we have turned
Okay.
so many people onto the Great Affairs. I feel like the
Good.
least they could do is not be creeped out by us. But I would be if I were them. I would be super creeped out by Scott and John, because we can't help ourselves. My
Yes.
pop pick sort of defined this album has been it changed the game. It changed the game, the business of popular music. Anybody, you got to guess? Anybody? Change the business. I say that. Change the business of popular music.
It sounds like it could be something like Thriller, but it probably isn't.
You're close. It's that big. It's that big. It's Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
Oh,
Of course.
rumors.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, dude, that's when everything changed.
Yeah.
That's when people went, holy cow, this is big business. This is Boston, Journey. I'm not putting hard in there, but it's that
Yeah.
level of
Yeah.
arena music. And my favorite Fleetwood Mac story is John McVie going to the studio during the Rumor sessions and saying to Keith Olsen, who produced it, who Keith Olsen began producing Buckingham Nicks,
Mm.
which the Buckingham Nicks album is so killer. It was the
Yeah.
first album ever recorded at Sound City.
Oh wow.
So it
Yep.
sounds amazing. And Crying in the Night was like the first song recorded on that console at Sound City. But McVie goes in the studio and says something like, man, this is getting pretty far from the blues. And Keith Olsen goes, it's getting a lot closer to the bank. I mean, and again, I mean, we all know all of us know the songs on Rumors for the most part. We know the stories, we know the romantic entanglements, but just the songs, the way they're structured, the vocals, the music. Lindsey Buckingham is never mentioned enough, I don't think, as a guitar hero. So yeah, mine was Fleetwood Mac's Rumors.
Real quick, favorite song off Rumors, because my pick is probably a different one.
I don't know, man. I Go Your Own Way is so good. I like boy, that's really hard for me. I'm gonna say Go Your Own Way. I think my wife's is Never Going Back Again.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I think I'll say Go Your Own Way.
Scott, what about you? Favorite song off
Landslide.
Rumors?
Oh,
Landslide. Good one.
What's yours, John?
Mine's Songbird.
Oh yeah.
Christine and the piano. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I love that song. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's a great album. That's a great album.
It is.
That album should come with a little straw in it, just so you can do cocaine like they did to get the full experience. All right. John, what's your country pick?
Okay, this one I will admit, I feel like I'm cheating on this one a little bit. I went through my whole CD collection and everything. I love classic country, the old stuff. Yep. And I realized I probably haven't paid or cared about any country since the early 80s. And so I went through like my whole CD collection, and I'm noticing that all of the CDs that I have are like best ofs.
Yep.
Best of Buck Owens, best of Merle Haggard, best of Waylon Jennings. And so I'm cheating on this one because I'm bringing the best of Roger Miller. My two favorite country artists are Roger Miller and Jerry Reed. And I was listening to one of your other episodes and someone else brought Jerry Reed. Yeah. And I just think they are two of the most interesting, creative, wonderful songwriters because they infuse all this humor in this really masterful songwriting. They make things work that you wouldn't think should work together, and they do. And I just think Roger Miller is a genius that doesn't get the attention he deserves.
Yeah,
and so I want to shine a light on Roger Miller.
I love Roger Miller. My dad played bass for a short period with Roger Miller.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. I love that kind of, I consider that like Tin Pan Alley songwriting. I mean,
that's
beautiful songwriting. Jerry Reed again is another, what's your favorite Jerry Reed song, John?
Oh gosh. I was afraid you were going to ask that. I mean, probably the, She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I love it all. And I remember when I was growing up, I didn't pay attention to him. I didn't even realize he was a singer. I remember him showing up on shows like Alice.
Yes.
You know? Or Smokey and the Bandit.
Christ, he's the snowman. He's the snowman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And loving that guy, that persona, the survivors, that when he's the bad guy. And being so he reminds me of like, my family comes from small towns in Idaho, and he reminds me of like my uncles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And or Hee Haw, you see Roger Miller on like Hee Haw. He's mostly known for King of the Road, but there's so much more to him than that. Or Tom T. Hall is another of these great, songwriters.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I love all those guys in that genre, that chapter of country music, where they're telling stories sometimes in under 2 minutes and have a lot of humor, and just shocked that anyone could put these words together the way they do.
Man, what's your favorite Jerry Reed song, Scott? You got one?
Tupelo, Mississippi Flash.
That's mine. Come on, you can't take mine. That's my favorite. That's my
good one.
Although, I like Guitar Playing Man. But
Amos Moses is always
that's
great.
The tune
that's another one that I was thinking. Yeah,
we were playing one time in the band that played with us. Their guitar player at the time was a friend of the show and a friend of ours named AJ Dunning. He's the original guitar player in the Verve Pipe.
Oh, sure.
And he was in this country-ish band Like, well, it was a country band. And I remember thinking like, ugh, like that Verve Pipe dude from The Freshman is playing country. Like I didn't know him that well, and I didn't know I mean, I knew he was good. I just didn't know exactly how good until they played Amos Moses. And it was spot on. Killer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was great. Yeah, I love Jerry Reed. And as an aside, John, I'll share this with you. My fashion sense in elementary school, all my fashion cues, every fashion cue I ever took came directly from the snowman. So you're talking corduroys, cowboy boots, the vest, and a pearl snap shirt. Nobody wanted to play with me. Nobody hung out with me. Nobody wanted to talk about Jerry Reed or the Beatles or any of that. So I was awful lonely.
And
All right.
also, the Great Affairs singer Denny is a fan of your podcast, The Hustle.
Oh, nice.
Me? Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Him and I have, when we've talked after shows, somehow it came up, and he's like, "Yeah, I listened to that too. It's awesome." So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So
Scott's good. I will say this,
my ego,
dude. Scott Benting. I haven't had this experience yet, even though I have a music career. He doesn't quite do this for me. I think he takes old John for granted. No, I'm just kidding. But if Scott likes something and advocates for something, he shares that. Like he'll tell people, this is, I'm into this. This is really good. Check this out. I don't. I hoard stuff because I have nothing that makes me cool. I want to go to the party and break out an album no one's ever heard, so I don't tell anyone about it. I'm like, I can't believe you haven't heard this Finnish weird ass album, and then I pull it out, and then people at the party are like, all right, man, well, we'll see you next time, dude.
Right.
All right. Yeah, great. What's your country pick, Scott?
It is called The Light Saw Me by Jason Boland and the Stragglers.
Give me year.
Brand new, 2023, 2024, probably. Shooter Jennings produced it. It is
there you go.
A concept album from those guys, which is not common from them. So, because they're usually just straight Oklahoma, Texas style red dirt country.
Okay.
But this is it's atmospheric, it's trippy. Of course, it's got a couple rockers because it was produced by Shooter Jennings.
Right.
But it's all about this cowboy, and it's from an old story from Texas of this cowboy who claims he saw a UFO in 1897.
Oh, cool.
But it's about this cowboy that gets abducted by an alien ship in 1890, and he gets transported to the same place in 1990.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
So it's so awesome. And of course, there's spoken word stuff because Shooter's got it. He's into such sci-fi and all that weird stuff. So it's got weird stuff on it too. But like Sturgill, it's got strange, weird.
It's always nice when your country artists smoke marijuana, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
It always helps.
But it's a way different record for Jason Boland and the Stragglers. But it's super fun.
Nice. My country pick is from 1959. I use this pick a lot because I have to confess, bitter might be too strong of a word, but like the newgrass revival, I call it newgrass, this new jammy bluegrass. I don't make fun of it because I know they're all great and the music is great and everything, but it's a little noodly, it's a little noodly. It lacks what you were talking about with Roger Miller and Tom T. Hill, the songs, there's not always a song there. Sometimes I'm like, these sound like chords strung together while Mandolin Joe noodles over the top of it. But my pick is from the Louvin Brothers. It's called Satan is Real.
Oh, I have that one.
It's
one of the best album covers ever.
Yeah.
Ever. And they're,
they are, I mean, without Louvin Brothers, you don't have the Everly Brothers. You don't have those harmonies that we've come to. You don't have like Sweetheart of the Rodeo era Birds.
Yeah.
Because Satan is Real, I got into, I can't pretend I was like, I was weaned on the Louvin Brothers. I wasn't.
Right.
But in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, I guess it was early 90s, I became a fan of a band called Uncle Tupelo that went on, they disbanded into two bands, Wilco and Sunvolt. But anyhow, they covered a Louvin Brothers song. And I'm like, wow, Atomic Power, the song is called. So I started digging into the Louvin Brothers, and turns out already, like, there had been on the Byrds' Sweetheart of the Rodeo, I think they covered Cash on the Barrelhead, that standard.
Yep.
This album has Satan is Real, the title track. Satan is real, killer.
Mm-hmm.
The Christian Life, which the Byrds
Yeah,
covered.
the Byrds did on
Yep.
Sweetheart.
Others find pleasure in things I despise. Drunkard's Plea is on this with the Carter Family, and then a song called Drunkard's Doom. The thing I like the most about those two songs is Ira Louvin, who passed. I'm sure Charlie Louvin's dead now too, but Ira Louvin died early. He felt called to be a preacher.
Mm-hmm.
That was his thing. And then he also struggled with the world. He had a drinking problem, like he was a mean drunk. He was not faithful to his wife. So he was pulled. The Louvin brothers, you can hear that pulling in their music, especially with Ira. It was Ira Louvin who walked backstage at a show, heard Elvis Presley sitting at a piano playing gospel standards. And Ira Louvin said to Elvis, how come Elvis looked at Ira Louvin, who he loved the Louvins, and he said, Elvis, he was playing these gospel standards. Ira looks at him and says, well, how come you're out on the stage playing all that N-word music?
Oh.
Elvis Presley has covered tons of music in his career. He's made Tony Joe White, he played Polk Salad Annie's, covered all these songs, never covered a Louvin Brothers tune. And Charlie Louvin says, had Ira not made that statement and insulted Elvis Presley, the Louvin Brothers might be a household name because Elvis could have covered one of their songs and everyone would know them. So, Satan is Real by the Louvin Brothers. Moving on, what's your R&B pick?
So, included, this is another weird one. In fact, it's a recent discovery. Included with this category was also rap, jazz, and blues.
Yep.
I will admit, the blues don't do a lot for me, but I discovered recently an album by Doc Severinsen called Brand New Thing. Show. Yes, from like 1977 that I'm absolutely in love with. I can't stop listening to it. It was produced by Sorry. I clicked on something and now it's playing.
Excellent. We can't hear. No. This is how he gets us, Scott. He'll have something play. We won't have it cleared. Then he'll circle around, report us, and then we'll be gone.
I clicked on something inadvertently and it started playing in my headphones. Was it playing in yours?
No.
Okay.
No, we never heard
Sorry
it.
about that.
No problem.
Sorry about that. Anyway, so Doc Severinsen, I recently had someone who played on this album on the podcast, and so I was like, I'll give it a listen to check it out. It's from the 70s. It's produced by Tom Scott, and so it's got that very disco kind of funk R&B, a lot of that, and it's not. Of course, I mean no disrespect to Miles Davis or anything, but it's not hard bop where the trumpet is just doing all this weird stuff and everybody's kind of trying to figure it out. It's very structured, very funky, very R&B jazz music of its era. And Tom Scott brings on all of his players like Eric Gale and Ralph McDonald and all these guys to play along. I just am falling in love with this album because it's taken me right back to that late 70s, disco jazz era. I love it. And it's from the last person I would ever think would make such a great album, but it's Doc Severinsen, Brand New Thing.
Sweet.
Legend.
Yeah.
I met Doc.
Yeah.
I met Doc.
Yep. How'd you do that?
I was working at a theater in Muskegon, Michigan called the Frohenthal Theater. And Doc played there. And I'm back in like the backstage in the prop room where they build scenery and all that. And like you hear the loudest trumpet you've ever heard in your life. Loud. I'm like, God dang, someone's outside the door? I walk all the way down this hallway, pull open a stairwell door, and he's in warming up.
Really?
And he had so much power that from that hallway and a closed door, you could hear his horn like it was next to you.
That's
and
amazing.
I just shook his hand and went, hey, nice to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. He was warming up and he was real gracious, and that was that. But yeah, He was
Wow.
so powerful that,
Yeah.
I mean, he was in an enclosed stairwell. I was down a hall, the length of a theater, and it was
Sure.
like, God, man, is someone here playing the trumpet in my ear?
That's
And
wild.
it was Doc. Yeah,
And
pretty
he's
cool.
still alive and lives in like Mexico or something like
Cool.
that.
Wow.
He's in his
Boy.
late 90s, and I think he's still active and everything. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he was one of those staples of your life because he was on
Yeah,
the Tonight Show.
Tonight
Right?
Show,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Exactly.
Killer.
Yeah.
What's your R&B pick, Scott?
I went with a jazz record this
Duh.
week.
I have that. I
Relaxing with
thought
the
Yeah.
about it
Miles
too.
Davis
Yeah.
Quintet.
I know that's a big one for you. I just saw that
So
recently.
Yeah.
the story behind that is my first jazz record
Mm.
Your
ever.
dad? Did your dad
You
turn
know
you on to it?
what?
No,
It might be
so the
my first
story
jazz record too, Scott. This
is
is
it?
so interesting. Go ahead. It might. I think it is.
The story behind mine is my all of my great grandparents, my grandparents, all of them are into big band music.
Cool.
So my dad, um, so when I was like 12, my great grandpa was showing me this big band record that had Miles Davis on it. And then I was over at another set of grandparents' house, and my cousin Joe, who I've talked about on the show, he's 16 years older than me. Him and his dad, my great uncle, and my grandpa were talking about Miles Davis. So the next day, I went to a used store and I wanted to get Bitches Brew because that's what I heard my cousin Joe mention. But they didn't have it. The only thing they had on cassette was Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet. So I bought it. And
Wow.
I've been a fan of Miles Davis ever since.
Oh, that's cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Cousin Joe.
it's the record, John. I've done the impression where it starts out with somebody says to him, like,
Yeah.
what track is it? And I'll play it and tell you what it is later. It's got
That's
lots of
Miles. It's so
studio
good.
chatter on this record.
Yeah.
Which we love. We love around here.
Yeah.
We love that kind of stuff.
The
Yeah.
quintet is just, and the quintet does a record with Art Pepper, another saxophone player, who that record is killer. It's one of the greatest jazz records of all time, in my opinion. Art Pepper
Nice.
meets the rhythm section.
That's great.
But
I
yeah,
remember I
relaxing
was
with the Miles Davis Quintet. It's like you said about something earlier. It's like going home for me.
yeah. When I was in college, and I'm going to BYU, very conservative Mormon university, and I'm in a used store, and I'm starting to feel like the world of Provo, Utah is a little too small for me, and I want to start expanding and watching interesting movies and listening to interesting music. And I'm in a used store, and I'm thinking, let's go to the jazz section. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be a
Right.
guy who likes jazz music now all of a sudden. Because when you're in college or you're
Yes.
living on your own, you're sort of
Yep.
finding yourself and figuring out
Yeah.
who you are and
Yeah.
what the signifiers are that make you who you are. And I thought, I'm gonna break open the jazz door in my life right now. And I bought that CD because I really like the
Wow.
cover.
Yep.
And I wanted some Miles Davis. Let's see what this guy's all about. I've heard about him. And so that was my entry into just, when your world is getting bigger and bigger little by little, that was the moment that broke open the jazz door. And then
Cool.
it's Coltrane, and then it's, anything else along those same lines. But yeah, that was the one. That's so funny.
Wow, that's cool.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
cool. And then you're drinking coffee out of those little cups. You have a beret. You're smoking, but you have that long filter.
Uh-huh.
You talk about art a lot but you
Yes.
really don't
Yes.
own any art per se. Right?
No. No.
I did
A
that
pseudo
too.
intellectual.
Yeah, I did that
Yeah.
too. Just know in college I had a tweed jacket. That's all I want to say.
There you go.
And a ponytail. Okay, moving on. My R&B pick is a blues song. Sorry, John.
That's okay.
Is a blues album rather. But this guy, I've talked in the past about the subgenres of blues, the Delta blues, the Chicago, the Texas, right? We've talked about that.
Yep.
The jazz influence on like the New York City type stuff. But for me, this guy named Robert Cray came out about
Oh,
1986, and he has this album Strong Persuader. He had
Great
a
album.
MTV hit, right? MTV played I
Smoking
think
Gun.
Smoking Gun, thank you.
Yep.
And then I was much like your jazz experience in 86-ish, 85, 86-ish, I guess. Yeah, 84, 85, 86. And then I got into a blues thing. I knew I liked Steve Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. I had a friend turn me on to them. Um, and I started digging blues. I think I talked on the show when I bought that Muddy Waters and I bought Hard Again by Muddy Waters and something else at the swap meet in Muskegon.
Yep.
But this album, he could sing, which even Stevie Ray Vaughan was like, I'm not a great singer. I think Stevie Ray Vaughan's a great singer, but he didn't like his voice. Robert Cray could sing. The arrangement, he was smoother, everything. His guitar playing was very unique. And I played this Strong Persuader album in my 1986 Chevy Cavalier Z24. Every time anyone was willing to listen to it, I would play it, and I would talk about what a deep blues man I was. Obviously, I grew up in the gritty streets of Muskegon, Michigan. I knew the blues.
Right.
So yeah, Strong Persuader by Robert Cray. And moving on to our final, this is our NMD pick, our kind of something that might be unique unto you, blah, blah, blah. Something maybe other folks don't know about. What do you got, John?
All right.
He's already laughing.
I'm laughing because I'm going with another kind of guilty pleasure here. I'm going with an album called The Art of Tea by Michael Franks. Michael Franks, this music is jazzy. It reminds me, it's from the early 70s. I think it's his second or third album. I'm not a Michael Franks completist or expert in any way, except that his singing voice reminds me, he sounds like the guy who would have sang some of those like cartoon interstitials from Sesame Street, or like Schoolhouse Rock. The guy, Bob Doro was the name of the guy who sang a lot of those like Schoolhouse Rock cartoons.
Sure.
Michael Franks has that kind of a voice.
Huh.
It's very light jazz. It warms your heart. It makes you smile. It's not difficult music in fact, it's the complete opposite of difficult music. And this album called The Art of Tea, like making tea, TEA, from Michael Franks from the early 70s. It's got a song on it called Popsicle Toes. And there's a song in there called Eggplant. And they say it sounds like jazz music for little kids in a way, but it's really heartwarming and really endearing. And I just love it. I think it's so fun. In fact, I learned about it maybe 10 or 15 years ago from, I think it was one of those like what's in my bag things from Amoeba.
Sure. Yeah.
And it was the lead singer of the band that the Yeah Yeah Yeahs created the song Maps.
Yeah. Karen O.
Karen was dating a guy, the lead singer of the band, and his initials were MAP. Oh, what's the name of the band? I want to say Idols, but I don't think that's it. Anyway, whoever someone out there is watching, the lead singer of the band that Maps.
Well, we can't swear to that, John. We can't swear to that.
Well, okay. Hopefully, someone's out there listening. Whatever band that guy is the lead singer of, the song Maps is about.
Oh, I love that song.
Who turned me on to Art of Tea.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. Tune Maps, by the way.
Oh, of course.
Side Street, we do this all the time. Do you know the song Scott Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs? Have you ever seen the video?
I don't think so.
It's the shit. It's so cool. It's just like drums, guitar, and her.
Yeah.
In what appears to be a sound stage, right? And they're playing. And I don't know if it's just she's such a great actress or whatever, but she's crying during the song.
She full on cries.
She full on cries, and it's so cool and moving, and she's so stoic while she's crying, if that makes any sense. Yeah. Anyhow, lovely. Yeah.
Well, the song, her boyfriend was Michael Anthony. It's not really, but his initials are Maps. And that's why the song says, "They don't love you like I love you." Maps is not a word. It's an acronym. It's his initials.
No kidding. See?
Yeah.
Nice.
See, that's why she's crying in the video, because
of the dude.
The song is about the guy she broke up with. His initials are MAP.
MAP. Oh, that's great, man. I learn something all the time on this show. All right, Scott, what do you got? By the way, Scott's entire life is an NMD pick. Everything in his life. Okay, continue.
I believe it.
Mine is a band from Denver, Colorado called the Hickman Dalton Gang.
Nothing.
And it's Hickman Dalton Gang Volume 2 is the album. It's Johnny Hickman from Cracker.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim Dalton from Roger Klein and the Peacemakers.
Oh.
Wow.
I just wrote it down.
Like Do you know the Railbenders?
Dude, I saw
Yeah.
them in Denver.
It's like the Railbenders.
Oh yeah.
It's Dalton from the
Mm,
Railbenders.
okay.
And then Johnny Hickman. You know, Johnny does Lonesome Johnny Blues
Yeah.
and Cracker. So yeah, he does a song called Wild Card. They trade off vocals.
I got it written down because
It's a
that'll be
killer.
cool.
I
It,
just
volume two is
added it
great.
to-
Volume one is also good. That's about 5 tracks, I think. It's more of an EP, but it's
Yeah.
got a great track on there called "My Name Is Dalton." Um,
I wish I could remember.
but yeah, they have a great. It ends with this song called "Construction Man." That's hilarious.
Cool.
They got a song on there called "Let's Toke the Whole Day Off." Just kick ass stuff from those
Cool.
guys.
I'm trying to remember. I wish I could. So my brother-in-law lived in Denver years ago. He worked at I think he worked at the PBS station there. And we went to visit and we saw the Railbenders.
Yep.
And another band at a big club there. Like not a arena by any stretch, but like a bigger size club. I wish I could remember the name of it. It was a great, and I mean, you know, back then I was drinking too, so I was even more of an asshole than I am now. But but I can be a little, I mean, it's the disease, it's the NMD disease, right? I can be a little dismissive at times of stuff or a little judgy, right? You walk in a bar and a band's playing, you're a little bit like, you know, well, I've seen it all. So those
Yeah.
guys floored me. That was a great night. It was a great
Yeah.
night. The Railbenders were really cool. Cool. The Hickman Dalton gang.
Yep.
I got it.
Volume 2.
Not to interrupt, the band was called Liars. The lead singer of the band
Liars
who
is
Maps is about,
Oh,
and that's
okay.
who turned me on to Art of Tea. Sorry.
God, awesome.
Nice.
No, we
Google's
need
a
that.
wonderful thing.
We need
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, we need that stuff. All right. Well, I'll bring up the rear here with my MD pick, and we talked about this gentleman off air, I think, before we started rolling. Maybe it was when we started. The album is called Dog Days. It's by the band Blue Mountain. It was produced by Eric Campbell.
Oh,
It's so I should tell you guys this. So I posted today and we talked about it, I think off before we got started, but I posted on Facebook today that Eric Campbell, his name, and I've posted before, I actually dug out all the CDs and stacked them up and took a picture of them, of all these Eric Campbell produced CDs. Dog Days is always my favorite. It's a beautiful album.
does that have Blue Canoe on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has Mountain Girl on it, ZZQ, all these great songs. I got turned on to it, and watch your feet. I got to drop some names real quick. I went to see Wilco in 1996. There was no one there. I mean, there was just no one there. Enough that when they finished, it's like the guys didn't know what to do with themselves. So they just came out. So it was Jeff Tweedy and Jay Bennett and John Strait and Ken Coomer, the whole band. Now it's me and my girlfriend who have been watching Wilco's set because I was an Uncle Tupelo fan, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, can I buy you guys beer? Everybody gets a beer. I'm telling them, I'm gushing, right? I love Wilco. I was a Tupelo fan, but I love this, blah, blah, blah. The bass player goes, my sister has a band. You got to check out my sister's band. They're called Blue Mountain. And then I was a Blue Mountain fan and Roscoe had produced it.
Wow.
During so it's sonically, it's beautiful. It's Kerry Hudson, the lead singer, he like a modern day Neil Young almost. He sings better than Neil Young for sure, but he plays guitar like Neil. He reminds me of Neil Young. During our recording right now, this entire time, in my little phone, I keep getting messages from Eric from Roscoe. He's sending me messages.
Nice.
And I can only see a piece of them, so I don't know what he said. But the last piece said, I came across a ADAT tape of Blue. So I know when I get to it, he's gonna go, I'm hoping of some secret Blue Mountain stuff I can hear. But
Wow.
yeah, Dog Days by
Tell him
Blue
hi.
Mountain. I will
That's cool.
again, your interview with him on your podcast was just so well done. And I love
Thank you.
you obviously put people at ease because they're open, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that for nerds like Scott and I who listen to podcasts and I mean, I don't care what, and I've said this about like music documentaries too. I don't care what band it is. It can be, you know, the NSYNC's world tour. If it's behind the scenes, I'll watch the whole thing. Taylor Swift's Miss Americana, watch the whole thing. I just love that. In the studio stuff, that sort of thing. So anything that gives me more insight on music. So that's what we really we need to thank you for, John.
Thank you.
for guys like Scott and I who, I mean, this is our life and our breath and everything. So when we get to learn more about it, or we're turned on to something new, or I go look up a Curiosity Killed the Cat album or the Hickman Dalton
Yeah.
Gang or whatever. I
Like
mean,
I told him, I bought the Del Lords record. I bought an FM
Oh,
record already.
yeah.
thank you.
I
Thank
listened to
you.
the Del Lords all the way to a gig because of that.
Really?
Because of
Nice.
that interview. I listened to that Roscoe interview with you.
I
So
And
love it.
we've John's played with Sarah Borges, who he
Oh,
produced.
really?
yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
played with the
We've
Del Lords.
seen her a couple of times with him on guitar, which was awesome.
Great.
He's, the other thing about Eric, and not to make this an Eric Amble episode, but if you ever watch Just an American Boy, the Steve Earle documentary,
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
he was in Steve's band. He played
Yes, he
guitar
was.
for Steve.
Yeah.
And Justin Townsend was playing keyboards and guitar teching in the band at that time. But it
Oh,
was the era where Steve had released John Walker's Blues right around
Yeah.
9/11. And
Yeah.
I mean,
Jerusalem, wasn't it?
yes, and it was that whole
Wow.
tour. And the best part of it is, is we don't, guys like us, we love such weird NMD-ish stuff. You don't hear it in the mainstream a lot. And I remember waking up one morning and like CNN, in the next segment we'll have Steve Earle. I'm like, holy shit, awesome.
Wow.
And it was Steve Earle's name, and in quotes it said Talarat. And they were talking about John Walker's Blues and how dare he, and Steve Earle said the best line I've ever heard anyone say. He said, I saw a video of John Walker. He was on a board. They had him on a board, strapped to a board, and they were leading him out. Maybe, and Steve Earle goes, the first thing I noticed was he looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. And he goes, I look at my son Justin all the time, and I think he looks like he hadn't eaten in a while. There you go, right? He
Heavy.
humanizes this thing
Yeah.
in a way that only Steve Earle can. So, yeah. Anyhow,
Yeah.
I digress. John, thank you for being here and doing this. And what a treat, man. I'm so glad. It's
Anytime.
such a pleasure to meet you. And thank you for what
too.
you do.
Thanks
Thank you
for
for what you
slumming
do.
it with us.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you guys. I am a sucker for these kinds of conversations.
Yes, us
now
too.
that I've been listening to your podcast now and making a list of the things that I got to check out. So thank you for what you do. There's nothing better in this world than nerding out with music geeks, right?
Amen.
It's the best.
Amen.
It is the best.
John, we had
It
to
is the
start a
best.
podcast because no one invites us to their parties anymore.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Well,
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
so much, my friend. You have a great day. Scotty, I love you, buddy.
Love you
got
too,
any
brother.
words? You got any words for us?
Graham Parsons used to sing about the streets of Baltimore. Honest words and simple rhymes don't sell much anymore. Some say that California is the place we ought to be, 'cause all the barefoot Texans miss the forest for the trees. That carbon copy music don't mean a damn to me. Hank Williams
Everett.
wouldn't make it now in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, see you, everybody. Thank you. Thanks
Beautiful.
again,
See ya.
John.
Thanks, John.
You bet.